Hi, welcome to Module 2, Types of Plagiarism, brought to you by the Bell Library and the Tammy CC Writing Center. This video will be deceptively simple. We will simply explore the different types of plagiarism. This is not a comprehensive study in plagiarism, but it will cover the most common types. So according to Moore-Howard, 3 different types of plagiarism exist. There is cheating, non-attribution, and patchwriting. Cheating is defined as borrowing, purchasing, or otherwise obtaining work composed by someone else and submitted under one's own name. That means you purchased a paper off of the internet, you borrowed a friend's work and changed the name. It is also important to note that turning in your own previous work that has already earned a grade without your instructor's permission is a form of cheating. This includes making changes and then representing it as a new paper. The APA calls this self-plagiarism. You might recall in the first module, I alluded to self-plagiarism. This is what it is. Now, if you talk to your professor and you want to build on a scholarly body of research that you are already engaged in, if the professor says yes, you can resubmit your own work, but you have to have explicit and express permission. So what are some other examples of cheating? Number 1, turning in any portion of another student's work. So even if you just took 2 or 3 sentences from their introduction, that is plagiarism. Downloading, copying, or purchasing any portion of work off the internet. And then submitting a paper for a grade in one course, and then using that for a grade in another course. Without express permission, this is considered cheating. Examples 1 and 2 are always cheating, express permission or not. So let's look at non-attribution. Non-attribution is writing your own work, but taking passages copied exactly from the work of another without giving footnotes, endnotes, or parenthetical notes. So recall back to Module 1. When I mentioned that every time you use somebody else's work, you need to cite the source. That means you are attributing it to that author. Now, without including those citations, you are not attributing to that author, or you are engaging in non-attribution. Any information that is not considered common knowledge must be cited. Recall back from the first module, common knowledge is information your readers can find easily in any number of general sources in their topic. Recall also that you have to consider the audience when you are considering common knowledge. If a topic is new to you and you aren't sure what is considered common knowledge, you can ask your instructor or someone in the discipline. When in doubt, cite the source. Here is an example of non-attribution. On the left, you have the source material, and on the right, you have the plagiarized passage. You'll note that they both look similar, but that the left-hand side included a parenthetical citation with the author's name, date, and page that this quote is cited on, whereas the plagiarized passage doesn't. So why is this a problem? The underlined sections of the passage are considered a form of plagiarism called non-attribution because the information was copied directly from the source material and there is no citation or quotation marks to indicate that it was taken from another source. So let's look at the next type of plagiarism. What is patchwriting exactly? Well, patchwriting is probably something you've all taken part of accidentally without realizing. It is similar to the original source material with some minor changes to the wording. Sentence structure mirrors the source, and it's just changing words around to make it sound different. That is still a form of plagiarism. Patchwriting is plagiarism, regardless of whether one supplies citations to acknowledge the source. Now here is an example of patchwriting. Like last time, the source material is on the left, the plagiarized material is on the right. Let's look at some of those bolded and underlined statements. So in the source material, the first bolded and underlined statement is, while websites like MySpace and YouTube are changing the way artists and record labels reach out to fans. And in the plagiarized passage, it's social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter are altering the way the music industry connects with fans. So you can see that the order of the sentence is still the same. It starts off by pointing out websites. It mentions artists in the music industry are connecting with fans, but it changes a few things around. So instead of websites like MySpace and YouTube, it is social networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter, and so on and so forth. You can notice from the other bolded examples that this happens through the entire paper. Now note in the plagiarized passage, there is a citation. However, it is not paraphrased. This is a patch-written example. Another danger of patchwriting is that by using incorrect synonyms for certain words, you can change the meaning of the original material, and that is an egregious misuse of the source. Thank you for joining us for Module 2, brought to you by the Bell Library and the Writing Center at TAMU CC. We look forward to seeing you in Module 3.